Welcome back dito sa latest episode ng RAR Pilipinas 363. Kasama ulit natin itong guest natin. Thank you so much, Secretary Ronald Llamas.
You're welcome.
I'm a bit serious kasi may mga ibang tao nag-comment doon sa mga totoong show ko and legit na, seryoso pala to si Darren, matino pala to. Yun yung day job ko. Itong ano natin, stress release natin. Sir Ronald, just the other night, I think, syempre, Sabbath, I was reading Romans and a couple of things stood out. One is, of course, yung part na those who profess to be wise, they turn into fools, diba? And or na-expose sila for their foolishness and all. And gusto ko pag-usapan yan because parang may live na naman yung ating paboritong senador, no? Which is malunod daw sa katotohanan. Talagang hindi lang professing wisdom, professing ultimate parang sila lang may grip sa katotohanan. What's going on with Alan Peter Cayetano?
Ba ako i-contrast kita sa kanya, no?
Talaga yung point.
Siya kasi trying to appear serious but looking foolish. No, yun yung ba, no?
Okay.
Ikaw naman, looking foolish but really serious. So, magkaiba yun eh.
So what does that make you?
I'm somewhere...
You're a foolish who is also looking foolish.
I'm somewhere in between.
In between the two. Parang mas happy ka sa dalawang happy sa Ronald. So ito sa Ronald, pag-usapan natin yan.
I'm most serious when I'm most foolish.
Yun nga medyo kinakabahan ako sa Ronald. Hindi ko na nakita, meron na ako ganun yung mga thumbs ko yung mukha. Ganun sa Ronald.
Di ba, napaka-serious ni Alan pag nagsasalita siya, di ba?
Yung life seller niya.
Pero everybody is laughing at him. Parang the fool on the hill, di ba?
But he enjoys it. I mean, my worries
I doubt if he's enjoying it.
You doubt it?
Especially now.
You think it's getting serious na with it all also? So, akala ko may ceasefire na. May
Wala.
of understanding.
That's why he's sending feelers. Ang tawag naman daw niya hindi ceasefire.
Anong tawag niya? Anong tawag niya? Paramdaman.
Cease and desist.
Parang TRO ba? TRO ba? So, eto, hinamon niya si Lacson na pumunta sa kanila, sa Taguig, at sabi ni Lacson, ayoko dyan, baka malunod ako sa flat. Alam mo, si Lacson isa pa yan. He's serious, but he can also be foolish. Diba? Okay siya, I like him.
Siguro ang kaibahan kay Ping Lacson, he is deadly serious.
Deadly serious.
Emphasis on the deadly.
Yeah. Sarap, papahamak na naman ako. No, so, because I won't say who, but I was in the Senate obviously last week. May nakausap tayo mga senador. And ang worry ng isa was, on the good side naman to mga to relatively at least. Ang worry nila is, parang dinadampot daw yung kabila. Like parang biglang konti-konti nagiging ghost senator judges. Nawala si Morcoleta, nawala si Jingo. So they're a bit worried about the optics kasi now hindi lang si Caldero, but si Solar Mommy. Medyo alanganin. And they're worried na baka by October, dalawa na lang kausap nila sa kabila.
Yeah. Actually, they should have been worried much earlier.
Yeah.
Because itong mga cases na ito, ay earlier pa ito eh. Ngayon lang lumalabas yung Solar. Kumpanya na, 2 years ago na yan eh. Di ba? Last year nga, kakasuhan na dapat si Lebiste. Sisingilin siya ng 25 billion. Biro mo, nakakuha ka ng franchise under questionable circumstances. Bata ka, yung capitalization mababa. Nakakuha ka ng multi-billion franchise na walang location. No? Basta kung siya, generic nationwide. No, yung
Pero dapat doon sa underserved communities, 'di ba? Yun yung idea. Dadalhin sa mga walang grid,
we have to put location eh. Dapat may AOR yan eh. Wala ito eh. Kaya maraming tumaas ang kilay nung yan ay naaprubahan, no? Dahil nung naaprubahan yan ay head ng Finance Committee yung kanyang nanay. So, ang sinasabi ni Ombudsman Boyeng Remulla conflict of interest. At saka kahit hindi siya bumoto for that, malinaw yung para kay Boyeng Remulla, malinaw yung conflict of interest. Anyway, so yun yung una. Ikalawa, hindi ka nag-deliver. No, yung mga targets ng franchise, yung agreements dun sa franchise, hindi mo na-deliver.
Ang tawag ni Ombudsman is Ghost Electricity Project. Ito mas ghost to kaysa zombie. Kasi nasaan yung electricity, di ba?
Yes. Tapos,
ghost electricity.
Tapos ikatlo, yung bahagi ng yung franchise, ibinenta mo pa.
Ayun.
na hindi ka na nga nag-deliver, binenta mo pa. So, patong-patong na, tingin ng ombudsman, patong-patong na violation ang involved dito.
Parang
Kaya,
a series of questionable transactions and
yes.
activities.
Ang sinasabi ko lang, hindi ito nangyari ngayon na sasabihin nila, uy, kinukuha lang kami, selective justice.
Right.
Uy, dinidiinan kami dahil kami ay nasa minority. No? Kahit naman na halimbawa na sa minority sila, Risa, Bam, Kiko, Will.
Wala talaga silang kaso.
Wala namang kaso. No? Ang problema nila, may kaso sila. Whether nasa minority sila o nasa majority sila, ayun nga, in the real world, no, mas didiinan talaga yung kaso nyo. Pero ang tanong kasi, may kaso ba o wala? Meron. No? Katulad ditong ghost projects ni Alan Peter. No? Nakita. Yung geolocation ng 4 na projects, the same. Iba-iba ang mga contractors, iba-iba ang bayad, ang billing, no? Pero pare-parehas ang picture. So, hindi lang double, hindi lang triple, quadruple yung corruption do sa project, di ba?
Allegedly, di umano.
Merong pang pinakita na at least isa na doble. So, ang daming ganon na nakikita sa Taguig ngayon na dati hindi. Kung wala naman yun bakit naman siya iipitin? Naiipit siya ngayon dahil nga it exists.
Yeah.
Totoo yung mga project. Kaya mahirap nilang ipagpag yan. Mahirap nila ipagpag.
So, sinong mas alanganin ngayon? Yung alleged ghost electricity project or yung zombie project na quadruple? Square, cube? Anong mas alanganin dyan, Sir Ronald?
Well, tingin ko lahat sila delikado No? Lahat sila ito lang kay Kwan, kay La Lauren, kay Solar Queen ay pumasok na as a preliminary investigation.
Solar mom sa akin kasi may package.
So may PI na.
Yeah.
Yung kay Kwan, wala pa. So, pero kahit kasi medyo nahuli yung kay Alan, pwede naman bumilis yan Depende sa case build-up, preliminary investigation. At saka depende sa ombudsman.
Right.
So, pwedeng bumilis, pwedeng bumagal, pwedeng magsabay. Mas ang problema, itong decision kay Bong Revilla.
Yun ang gusto kong i-mention.
Sa isang non-bailable case, pwede palang mag-bail. No? At
May
yung
split 3-2. So
Oo.
it's really...
At very clear yung sinabi ni Ombudsman Boying Remulla. Trinabaho.
Yeah.
Alam naman natin kung ano ibig sabihin ng trinabaho. Alam natin nangyayari yan. Because gaano ka-flawed yung ating justice system.
Right.
Pero ito kasi very public Ito very public, kaya delikado yung 2 justices na yan ng Sandigan Bayan. No? Madidiinan sila, makikilala sila, madedemonize sila.
Yeah.
Oo.
But doesn't that show, Sir Ronald, na talagang kailangan bantayan hindi lang yung Sandigan Bayan or kumbaga lahat ng mga institution na in charge ng checks and balances dapat bantayan natin. At least yung ombudsman ngayon binabantayan na kasi nagets ng tao may trabaho pala yung ombudsman kasi dati figurine. Pero hindi lang pala yung ombudsman. Ombudsman is just part of the prosecution. Andun pa yung Sandigan Bayan, andun yung ibang institution. Do you think itong nangyaring kay Senator Bong Revilla could be a kind of another watershed moment kung saan biglang sasabihin ng tao, wait, anong ginagawa itong Sandigan Bayan? Sino pa nandyan? Na-highlight itong mga judges na made, ingat na ako, baka ma-contempt na allegedly questionable decision dito. Oo.
Well, una ay itong mga judges na ito, at least yung isa, maganda pala yung record.
Very maganda.
Siya rin pala yung nagpalaya dun sa mga binay.
Correct.
No?
Sobrang maganda.
No,
Sobrang
mga binay. No? So yung mga cases nila before ay ilalantad ngayon para makita yung kanilang track record. No? Yung kanilang napakagandang track record.
Unimpeachable, impeccable, beyond reasonable doubt.
Ano, 2 yung sinabi ni Boying Remulla Una, yung tinrabaho, na alam natin kung anong ibig sabihin.
Right.
Tapos yung ikalawa, a wake-up call.
Yun.
Ibig sabihin, kailangan
Something's going
gwardyahang maigi no? ng Solicitor General, ng DOJ, ng Supreme Court, itong mga justices na ito. Yun ang gets ko doon sa sinasabi niyang wake-up call.
Yan.
Na hindi pwedeng business as usual. Kailangan talaga ay parang gamitin yung microscope dito sa mga justices na ito ng Sandigan Bayan. Lalo na, maraming nakasalang na kaso sa kanila ngayon at marami pa yung isasalang. No? So, yung weaknesses ng ating mga institutions, nakikita natin ngayon for all the world to see. Congress, Senate, Executive, Justice System, etc.
Baka nga blessing in disguise yung pagka brazenly questionable. Yun na lang. Hindi ako makontempt on this. Brazenly questionable decision na yan because kung binasa mo yung mga nag-dissent na judges.
Actually, yung kaso mo na indirect contempt, ang parusa lang dyan, community service.
Hindi, may 6 months, Sir Ronald. Tsaka, may fine yan.
Kaya huwag ka masyadong
Magkano
matakot
60,000 ba yan or something?
Tsaka na indirect contempt ka, hindi against Sandigan Bayan, against the Supreme Court.
Ayun.
Diba?
Oo.
So, ako naman, medyo mataas-taas naman yung standard.
Gusto ko, Sir Ronald, how you're downplaying my landmark success. Talagang landmark, no?
Hindi naman.
Sa Supreme Court.
sabi
Parang
ko
last year, parang Richard, humanda ka na. Magdala ka ng sarili mo. 6 months yan. Baka kailangan mo kasi si Vitali, alam mo yung vlogger na Russian, Vitali. Pag pumasok, Vitali. Pag lumabas, may natali. Parang iba nangyari, malumit siya eh. Naging hindi na siya vital eh.
That's a Russian prison naman.
Dito sa atin.
Dito ba yun? Dito ba yun?
Ito yung Russian vlogger na parang loko talaga yun eh. Binubuli niya yung mga gwardiya dito. Yung macho natin, DILG Secretary, Sir Mulya, pinanan yun. Nilagay sa kulungan ng, hindi ko na, Bilibid sa Manila. Pumayat. So sabi niya iba, wala nang access sa steroids siguro. Sabi ko, feeling ko tip of the iceberg lang yung sinasabi mo walang access sa steroids eh. Kasi ang linis si Chula, gano'n. Yung isa kasama natin tumatakbo ng survey. So, Richard, magpatubo ka ng magtattoo ka na. So anyway, without giving too much ideas, hindi naman mala Albuquerque ang dating. Thank you, Sir Ronald, for the backhanded reaffirmation of my landmark victory at the highest court in the country. No, but going back to this, gaano ka lalim itong problema natin in terms of public awareness ng yung systemic problems sa justice system? Because again, this comes from the ombudsman. Few months earlier, sabi niya, broken almost yung justice system. This is not just the judicial branch. I mean, yung kabuuan ng justice system.
Well, nung nangyari kasi itong massive corruption, ang unang tinamaan dyan ay siyempre Congress.
Correct.
Diba? Medyo natalsikan din yung Senado. Dahil bycam yan eh. Diba? Pero mas ang tinamaan yan yung Congress. Kaya galit na galit nun si Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Right.
Bakit kami lang? Yung role ni Cheese as Senate President? No? Ginagawa niya.
Exactly. Yun
Diba? Pero siyempre, sila yung tinamaan. Sila yung usual suspects, mga congressmen, mga contractors. Diba? Mga ganyan. No? Pero ang lalim ng damage sa kanila. Tapos, yung sumunod naman, yung decision ng Supreme Court sa impeachment, sila naman yung tinamaan, di ba?
What's going on? Ganun.
Diba? Sila yung minumura, sinusumpa ng mga tao. Tapos, bumalik uli sa Congress naman at saka sa Senate, dito sa anti-corruption.
Correct.
Yung mga massive rallies last year. So dito, medyo pantay na yung Congress at saka yung Senado.
Quits na.
Pantay na sila, na-demonize at na tinatamaan. Pero humabol yung Senado dito sa crisis ng Senate, leadership crisis, ditong past few months, this year. At yun yung first time na nakita mo na doble yung approval rating ng Congress ahead of the Senate. Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng gano'n. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang nakaka-catch up yung Senado. No? Sila ay dramatically eroded sa pagtingin ng tao. Kung yung Congress ay doble yung approval rating sa'yo, talagang nasa lusak ka na.
If the lower house is twice more popular than you, then anong house ka na? Underground? Ang tawag dyan, if you're lower than the lower house by a factor of 2, anong tawag sa'yo, Sir Roy?
Underground.
Yun na, safe house. Sir Ronald, gising ka pala, yung sleeping pills. Yan ang test ko sa'yo, yung mga witty moments mo. No, but speaking of Senate, okay, yung kay Bong Revilla, pwede sabihin ng ombudsman, wala akong alam dyan. You cannot blame either admin or ako na in-appoint ni BBM.
Well, yes and no. Pero nag-double down siya. Sinabi niya, trabaho, at ikalawa, wake-up call. So, hindi lang niya tinanggap sitting down.
Assault na yan.
Hindi lang siya nagpagpag. No? Wala akong kinalaman dyan. Ganon. Talagang nag-offensive siya. At tingin ko, yung dalawang justices na yan ay marami nang kumakausap itong past few days.
Wow, Sir Ronald, ikaw naman may content pa sa sabi.
Parang ingat kayo dahil
Oo.
we're watching you. No? We're watching you.
Markado.
Tapos binabalikan namin yung mga dati niyong desisyon.
Yun.
Oo. At yan ay nilaladlad sa tao. Walang confidentiality dyan eh.
Oh, may resibo.
Diba?
May resibo.
Oo.
Correct. Though, speaking of the ombudsman, a certain Ombudsman Remulla back in late May, I think May 21, sabi niya, eto na, ripe na itong kaso kay Joel Villanueva, itong paborito natin senador. It's just a matter of, hindi lang time talagang weeks daw. Eh, ano na po ngayon?
Tingin
August
ko,
na po.
nung
Ano nangyari? Hindi na siya hinog? Ano
Hindi,
na
nung
siya? Reverse?
naglalakad siya sa park, biglang napuwing.
Yeah.
Napuwing siya. So, yun. Napapikit siya.
Yun nga
Sa mata niya.
Kasi hinog na daw eh. May yung hinog. So ano na ngayon?
Oo.
Expired? Ano ba nangyari?
Ano, no?
Kung
Hinog na?
Nung May.
Impeachment happened.
Oo. Pero before impeachment, yung SB 11 biglang naging 12 and then naging 13.
Oo. So, anong nais mo ipahiwatig?
Hindi, yung sinasabi
Parang may nais ka ipahiwatig.
wala akong ipahiwatig. Kino-contextualize ko, parang DDS ako eh. Ito po yung konteksto. Mamaya na tayo dun sa 5,000 lang palang assassin ngayon, Sir Ronald. Okay, confirm nga ano yung market price. Oh.
Oo.
Hindi, pero going back to this, kasi yun nga yung may ibang senador sa Richard, tignan mo, pakitignan. Tapos mamaya, ang kinakasuhan ng kabila yung dalawang sumali sa SB 11. At kakasabi mo lang, yung isa, bycam, yung isa ganun.
Pero hindi naman nawawala yung kaso nila eh. It's there eh. Dahil preliminary investigation.
So, hinog na frozen.
Oo.
Frozen hinog.
Parang kumala, parang naging baby steps.
Yun. Ito bigla slow down.
Baby steps.
Pero dito bumilis sa kabila.
Oo. Dahil, yun yung real world eh. No? Yun yung Saan kuweba ka ba
Alam namin real world yan sa Ronald. Pero
Oo.
may tinatawag na
Halimbawa,
choreography.
kung magkaroon tayo ng kaso, sabay tayo. No? No? Ang,
Sige,
ang
content ka rin.
sigurado ko, yung sa akin mabilis. Yung sa iyo mabagal. Yun ang sigurado ko.
Wala akong sinasabi pero nagtataka kami ba't isang taon pa sinagot tong indictment.
Pero kahit mabilis yung kaso ko, kahit mabagal yung sa iyo, mas marami kang sabon na iipunin.
Yun. Pero ikaw, panalo or talo? Feeling ko ikaw yung talo, ako yung panalo.
Let's see.
Wala naman problema sa sabon. Basta pag nahulog sabon, wag mo na i-pick up. Yun lang naman ang issue. It's not the sabon eh. It's the, it's the aerodynamic, Sir Ronald, let's go back to this. So, is it very possible na habang nangyari impeachment na yan, down to last 3-4 na lang yung minority? Is that a possibility or what are you looking at here?
Yeah, dahil sabi ko nga, halos lahat ng minority may kaso. Diba? From obstruction of justice to insider trading, market manipulation,
Aiding a fugitive.
yun yung obstruction of
bit.
justice eh. Yung malversation with falsification of public documents, non-bailable din yun eh. Plunder.
Are you looking at the non-bailable?
Plunder at saka crimes against humanity. At least dalawa yung crimes against humanity na makakasama dyan. So, ngayon ko na nakakita ng more than half ng Senado ay may kaso. No? Ngayon, sasabihin nila selective justice? No, dahil may kaso eh. Mas ang usapin dyan ay mabagal ba o mabilis yung wheels of justice. Pero the case remains. No, or remain, no, yung mga kaso na yan. No? At yung mga karamihan sa majority na wala namang kaso, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na selective justice dahil wala silang kaso. Wala silang kaso eh. Ano magagawa mo? No? So, ganun
Except
lang.
yung dalawa na minention ko na hinog na dapat.
Hindi.
Ay, gusto masang kilay ko dyan.
Hindi naman nawala eh.
Oo.
Hindi naman nawala yung kaso nila eh.
Ano lang.
Nag-baby steps.
On the ice lang siya. Hinog on the ice. Oh.
Pero hindi nawala yung kaso. Diba?
Right. Okay. Sige, before people think we're a little bit too cynical or Machiavellian, let's be Machiavelli about this. Machiavelli would argue that in a system kung napaka-systemic ang corruption, dapat yung response mo ay systematic. Kasi kung sabay mo, you go after everyone, the whole thing collapses. Or you won't survive. What is your political philosophy on that, Sir Ronald? I mean, obviously, at least we see ourselves as progressives, very clear yung ating convictions on how things move forward. But in the real world, kung ang daming kurakot dyan, realistically, for people who are against corruption, who want plunder to be, what can they expect from the real world in terms of systematic response to systemic corruption?
Well, yung balancing between
Yung
ideology, no, and yung sinasabi mong Machiavellian politics,
Exigency.
which is not necessarily bad, no?
Yeah.
It's how you use it. No?
Right.
Ay yung lagi ko sinasabi, the direction of the flow. Oh, ano yung priority mo at this point? Dahil hindi mo naman yan pwedeng linisin ng sabay-sabay. No? So ano yung ipaprioritize mo na tingin mo with the most impact? No? Sino ba yung greater evil at a particular moment?
Right.
Oh, yun yung kung
bumalik
hindi mo
tayo
naman
dyan, yeah.
kung hindi mo naman pwedeng i-cleanse lahat ng evil at the same time. So you have to focus on the greater evil, the greater threat to our already
For now.
weakened institutions. Doon ka
And-
mga focus.
And also, low-hanging fruit. Yung nahuli sa sariling bibig.
Oo.
Naluto sa sariling kaldera. I mean, they made it easy for you. Why not go for it, right?
Yes. Oh, pero nagkataon, sila rin yung kaalyado ng greater evil. Diba?
Which is a happy coincidence. I think yun ang term dyan, happy coincidence.
So, ganun yung, in summary, ganun yung aking magiging conduct. No? Ngayon, marami pang permutations yan. Pero hindi yan kayang ipaliwanag in a 25-minute episode.
Pero nakita ko, yung 2 minutes lang sa news, napaliwanag mo eh. Pasensya na lang. It happens. Sarang ganun naman. No. But I just want people to realize, saan tayo galing? We have clear convictions and principles. At the
Yes.
same time, we have a realistic understanding of how systems work. Kasi I think, meron, hindi naman naive, but I think there's this idealistic, or how it's more accurately, non-realistic understanding na you can fight corruption by just basically unleashing a revolution. I mean, it doesn't work. It gets out of control. Even literally, you launch a revolution. Nakakita, give me one revolution na hindi naging bloody yung resulta. China, France, I can go on Russia, so Romania, whatever.
Ito lang. Punta na lang tayo sa pelikula.
Oh,
yung
sige.
Nolan's version ng Odyssey.
Yun!
Diba?
I was
Tapos,
waiting for it. Yeah.
Divided sila kung saan ba pupunta. No? Kay Cycla o kay Charybdis. Yung Whirlpool o yung mountain monster.
Right.
So, torn sila ron. No? Eventually, tumawid sila. No? Nag-survive sila.
But,
pero nakita
there's a
mo.
but.
Oo, pero nakita mo, nabawasan sila. May casualties, di ba?
Na alam niya mangyayari.
Ibig sabihin, walang malinis na daan dito eh.
Right.
Magkakaroon ka ng casualties, magkakaroon ka ng damage. Because you are choosing between greater and lesser evils. And even lesser evils are still evils.
Right.
Diba? So, ganun yan. No? Ang mahalaga ay you don't lose track of your mooring. Na kahit ito yung ina-emphasize mo ngayon, later, titirahin mo rin itong mga lesser evil na ito. Kung hindi sila magbabago.
Right.
No? Yun yung kwan mo. Pero in the here and now, when you cannot fight too many monsters at the same time, you focus at the greater monster.
I'm glad you raised this around because I think some people think we're just laughing at politics. Actually, there's a deep philosophy behind this, sir. If I can ask you, sir, this actually got me emotional. Alam mo naman, iyakin tayo para mamamas boy tayo. But yung sa Siren song, di ba, like, di ba, ano yung sabi ng Odyssey? You know, the thing that you want the most, parang, you know, hardest to get, and the thing that hardest to get is what you used to have and no longer have. Anyways, parang, it's like an itch that you cannot take. So what is the Siren song sa atin who are in this crazy world but we want to change it?
Yun yung edge.
Or to
naman.
you, what is your
Yun
Siren song?
yung edge natin eh.
Yeah.
Because we are not just individuals.
Correct.
We are part of a political party, of an organization, of a movement. So that movement, yun yung tinatali sa atin sa poste. Ibig sabihin, kahit meron tayong mga temptations,
Right.
no? Kahit meron tayong mga desperation, ay hindi tayo nag-give in because we have an organization
Right.
na hindi lang tayo sinusuportahan which keeps us away from those temptations. Yun yung lubid na itinali
exactly.
Odyssey dun sa poste.
Ang lalim nung
ng
issue
kwan.
na yan, no? The other day, I saw a very good historian, Adam Tooze, comparing that to central banking. Like the central bank, parang yun yung sa against populist, parang yung fiscal policy and all.
Yun yung problema ng ating mga politiko dahil wala namang malinaw na party system dito.
Correct.
Most of our politicians ay madaling i-seduce ng siren call.
Yeah.
No? Wala silang mga groups like Akbayan, Tindig Pilipinas,
Right.
Australian Peso Movement na isusumpa ka.
Church.
Isusumpa ka. Isusumpa ka pag naging wayward ka. Diba?
Yeah.
So, yun yung tali sa atin. The siren song will always be there. No? Greed is always there. Not only outside but inside all of us.
Right.
No? So you need not only a moral anchor, an ideological mooring,
Yeah.
you need an organization na nakatali dun sa mooring na yon.
I want to ask about it because there's another option. Just put a wax in your ear. Why is that not an option, Sir Ronald? Because alam mo, madumi yan, huwag ka duman dyan, or at least, kung dadaan ka sa mga yan, sa sirens na yan, just put the wax.
Madali kasi matunaw yung wax sa init ng araw. No? At saka,
MIT ka
at saka madali siya mahulog dahil madulas ang wax So mas maganda yung lubid. Halimbawa, si Odysseus.
May mga mixed metaphors na.
Hindi, si Odysseus, hindi siya naglagay ng wax.
Yeah.
Dahil alam niya, that's so temporary.
Yeah.
That's so dangerous, even the wax. Diba?
Pero kumana sa staff niya.
Kaya yung isang leader niya, ayun, tinanggal
niya kasi
yung wax.
na-excite siya.
Pero hindi mo
pero
hindi mo pwedeng tanggalin ang lubid.
Yeah.
Diba? Kahit gustuhin mong tanggalin, hindi mo matanggal. Diba?
Sa metallurgical. Papunta na tayo sa metallurgical.
Yung nature kasi ng wax, masyado siyang waxy. Masyado siya madulas. At natutunaw siya sa init ng araw.
Right.
Oh.
Well, the movie was very, for the lack of a better term, very spiceless. But we know in the actual yung Odyssey, si Circe, after having quite an interesting journey, siya yung nagbigay ng advice Like it was a very difficult dynamic between Odyssey and Circe. Pero siya yung nagbigay ng advice how to survive this. And
in a way,
what is the version in politics?
Nakatulong silang dalawa to liberate each other.
Exactly.
Diba?
Exactly.
Si Circe, hindi lang siya tumulong dito.
Yeah.
Mismo siya na-liberate dun sa kanyang angst.
Yeah.
Diba?
Na ginagawa niyang baboy yung mga lalaki.
Dahil may pinanghuhugutan siya.
Yeah.
Meron siyang galit na pinanggagalingan. Diba?
Right.
Namulat naman siya ni Odyssey. Pero at the same time, si Odyssey, medyo na-shaken din yung kanyang mga dating mga alam na
Right.
uy, medyo mali pala ako dito. Diba? Medyo mali rin pala kami.
Right.
So it was a mutual awakening for them. No? Na usually, hindi na nangyayari sa ating bansa. Usually dito kasi bardagulan durugan
Yeah.
Dahil yung isa talagang ayaw mag-give in. Walang sense of nationhood pa tayo kahit tayo yung pinakaunang bansa, pinakaunang democracy sa Asia, the substance ay wala. No? Kaya ngayon, we're still grappling at straws Right. Ang minana natin, yung weaknesses nung Republican democratic institution.
Yeah.
The strengths ay hindi pa present. Kaya yun yung ating dilemma ngayon. Kahit tayo yung pinakaunang republic dito sa Southeast Asia. In a way, baka nga Asia. Parang nauna tayo sa China.
Sa
As a republic.
Yeah. Nauna talaga tayo sa China, matagal kay kila Sun Yat-sen hindi, matagal tayo nang nauna. Aguinaldo, easily a generation ahead of Sun Yat-sen. Last point on this, obviously before nakabalik sa Ithaca
Odyssey.
yeah. May isa pang muse na dinaanan. At doon sa isang muse, I don't know, 7 years pa siya doon or something. Again, let's be very spiceless. I like the movie. But alam ko si Sarah, anong ginagawa niya? Nag-usap lang sila mag-aapon. Pero naglulutos yung flower siya, di ba? To forget.
Yes.
Oo. While his body was healing, etc. Do you think meron tayong problema ganito nagaganon tayo? Kasi minsan, the way I hear people complaining about, bakit ang corrupt ng bansa natin? Bakit mga Duterte ganito? Parang, we should know saan galing tong mga to. Dun sa kakulangan natin, sa kulang. I mean, it's not like we didn't have options in terms of good leaders. But for some reason, we didn't support them enough. We didn't mobilize behind them. So are we surprised na the worst kinds, the most trapo kinds, the most traidor kinds end up there? For some reason, feeling ko lahat tayo nag-ano na lang naglolotos tapos kasama si Calypso. Do you think, like, how, because at some point sabi niya, I want to go home na, di ba? Parang ganun. So, how can we have that for
Well,
people?
yun yung laging problema natin with weak institutions.
Yeah.
We have
Institutional memory also.
We have a weak institutional
memory.
memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yan yung laging pinapaliwanag ni Randy David.
Yeah.
Diba? Yan yung kulang sa atin.
Bonfire of institution,
Oo.
that was his
Wala
article.
tayong wala tayong antiquarian culture, no?
Right.
We don't honor and respect, no, yung mga icons natin of the past. Nakakalimutan natin. Kaya yung most of our museums ay nasa private collections.
Unfortunately.
Because as a nation, wala tayong ganong klaseng kultura at ganong klaseng consciousness at ganong klaseng investment dito. Buti ngayon may mga kaunti. Pero pag pinuntahan mo halimbawa yung mga developed countries, very developed din yung kanilang antiquarian culture.
Correct.
Buhay na buhay sa kanila yung nakaraan. No? At makikita mo the best museums are there in the most developed countries. Hindi lamang dahil nag-i-invest sila ng pera. Because it is also cultural. Kaya marami sa ating mistakes nakakalimutan natin dahil wala tayong concept of memory. Ang mahalaga sa atin, yung immediate happiness, yung immediate joy, no? At nakakalimutan natin yung dinaanan nating challenges, yung dinaanan nating pain para umabot dito at yung kinakailangan pa nating daanan para maabot yung ating vision. No? So yun yung sickness ng kawalan ng memory. No? Mas mahilig tayo sa forgetting. No? Kesa sa memory. No? Kaya yan yung kinakailangan din gawin ng isang strong leader. Ipaalala sa atin yung nakaraan, ano yung ating greatness at ano yung ating weaknesses.
Right.
Para pumunta tayo sa future which our people deserve.
Yun nga, absolutely, it's very important. Ako, parati, I'm familiar with the old world countries, Italy, Greece, Persians, Chinese. Like, they cite philosophers and poets from thousands of years ago to explain contemporary problems. When you watch their podcast or you hear about them, and I was like amazed. Like someone will cite Rumi to explain a foreign policy issue or something like that. Can you imagine? Or Confucius to explain economic policy.
Yeah.
But I always said, U.S. is a very young country. It's not an ancient country. It's not an old. But they cite Jefferson. They cite yung founding fathers, yung Federalist Papers. Hanggang ngayon nagdedebate sila. We're not so much younger than U.S. So we can do what other New World countries are doing, or Singaporeans. They refer to Lee Kuan Yew. These are not ancient historians or philosophers, right?
Hindi, kaya nga, pag nagsasalita ako sa mga schools, like kung binabanggit si Emilio Jacinto.
Which is your favorite?
Yung gumawa
It always comes at
gumawa ng kartilya ng Katipunan. Who at 18 was a general. No? At 21, died a hero. Imagine mo yung 3 years na yun. No? Ang laki ng impact niya sa ating revolusyon.
They were all kids, right? All of our...
Nobody remembers him. No? Yung,
except you, thanks to you. Yeah.
So, yun yung mahalaga dito. No? Kaya, in my own small way, pag pumunta ka sa bahay ko, it's like a library and a museum. No? Dahil lahat ng mga bric-a-brac na nakukuha ko about the past, ay nilalagay ko in a very significant corner of my house. Kaya halos wala kang lakaran.
And then the Shogun, di ba? Baka naman may mga Odyssey, gifts kayo dyan. That became, I guess, actually seryoso pala tayo. I think now, I hope people realize, we're gonna have a very short episode after this. Pag-usapan lang natin si Sara Duterte. Totoo ba na 5,000 lang kailangan to get as assassin, to get rid of
Ano sa Ilocano? Ang Sara?
Blood muna, Dara. Pero tayo mga kaibigan, maraming salamat for joining this latest movie review Odyssey Philippine Politics Edition.
Philosophical discussion, di ba?
I think people now realize our friendship because our friendship was built on this shared ideas and all. Because alam ko naman, Sir Ronald doesn't like being with me on the same platform. Nagtitingin na kami. But in off the record actually yun yung friendships natin, 'di ba? Itong mga philosophical moorings na to. And yung Amazon yung book ni Sir Ronald, paparating na. Monthly review pala siyang publisher, kaya pala maliit yung publishing niya. But it's a beautiful book, beautiful book.
Roses and Gramsci.
Roses for Gramsci. And so apparently Gramsci was actually,
He's
nagpa-plant siya ng roses.
Yeah,
I had no
yeah.
idea.
Tito siya.
Oh my God. I had no idea. The guy was amazing, amazing. Of course,
Tito siya.
yung ating hero, para naman mabash naman tayo ng mga leftist friends na nagfi-feeling doubt ang Gramsci. Thank you very much. Next episode, very, very short kasi Duterte lang yung topic. Salamat.